Hi, welcome. We are on Plasma, as you may have noticed, and we're going to install the ArcoLinux ISO from May. Now, I'm not sure if I have already downloaded everything, but let's go over all the steps you should take anyway. So ArcoLinux, and then probably download is what you're gonna Google. Download ArcoLinux. Then you go for a torrent, which I'm gonna do, or you just go download in the country you live in. I'm gonna use a torrent, and it's KTorrent that's gonna pick it up. So KTorrent is for Plasma. There are lots of things out there. All you need to do is yay torrent. This is your library. Choose. You want Deluge, KTorrent. Transmission, JTK or JTK, or Qt or Qt, right? So all the names are here. Make torrent, that's something else. But Qubit torrent, for instance, is also a good choice. So lots of things to choose from, and other things which are less legal up here. But it's all there. It's the AUR, right? Go and have a look, see what's there. So download it. Everything is there. I can quit this thing. Now at this point in time, I'm seeding, I suppose. See here, status and notifications. I'm still receiving and transmitting and all that. Well, not receiving basically. Well, the minimal communication. Anyway, I've got my ISO. Last time, let's take a look at last time. The settings were as follows. Well, let's just click everything open so you see what everything is. I only took 4 megabytes, I have 16, so I gave just 4, 1/4, so 1/4, and I did use EFI. So this time I'm gonna make a grub one. What's the difference? UEFI is for newer computer systems with another motherboard where you can make, use the interface extended firmware, though it was, let's go again, extended firmware interface, right? Which is required to boot certain guest OSs. All right, so Windows uses it and the last motherboards use it, okay? So it was on, so this time it's gonna be off. So I'll have a grub installation and I switch around between them. So you just keep watching videos how to install ArcoLinux. Why do we explain all this? Because ArcoLinux wants you to be in control of your computer, right? And it's going to be based not on Debian, it's going to be based on ArcoLinux. And we have learning phases. Phase 2 is going to XFCE OpenBox i3. Phase 3 is all the rest of 16 desktops in this case. Phase 4 is build your own ISO, and phase 5 is say goodbye ArcoLinux. I'm going to ArcoLinux and do it the Arch way, right? So phase 1 BIOS, this is the one I'm going to use. And last month, I've made another video about phase 1 UEFI, right? So you go through some phases, and at some point in time, then you choose which desktop do you want to live in for the next coming weeks, right? And it's 16 of them. Today I'm going to install deepin, since deepin has a new interface, and we'll just show you it. All right. So I need to go phase 1 BIOS, that's the deal. It's not going to be a UEFI like last time. So cancel. I have a template ready here. We can actually take a look at the template first before we copy it. So it's going to be a copy paste of that template. So you see I've taken a little bit less last time. So it's up again. Enable EFI, no, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep a grub 50/50 for this guy. Enable that one. Acceleration all default, and display is here VBox SVGA. You can also use VBox VGA, but never use VM SVGA. All right, and make sure that this is not enabled. So I'm going to keep using this. It does complain. Let him complain. Invalid settings detected. Whatever. All right, trust us. Okay, so I have a template. Right mouse click, clone, and this is going to be again another one ArcoLinux, but you can't rename it. I mean, give it the same name. So it's the May month. All right, it's going to be ArcoLinux from May, and the other one was from, I suppose, April or something. Not sure if we can see the date in here, probably on the files in the folder. So Arch Linux May, booting it up with a file. So you burn your Arch Linux thing, and it's always somewhere. I always forget to put it on the right place, so it's in my home directory, Arch Linux 2020-05-01, right, May. Okay. Then we boot up and we keep our, guy close to us, the guide, I mean them. And Control F, yep, that's gonna be good. Now I need to go back and make a Control F again, so the right control. I need U here. So this guy is gonna go on my second screen, and that's the best way to do it. Just keep reading and scrolling. So boot Arch Linux, boot existing OS, run memory tests and all that. You know what to do. You just say boot Arch Linux, enter. All right, I'm scrolling on the other page, on the other screen. I am in BIOS, correct? Disable secure boot, disable launch CSM. So those are things that you have done prior to this. But this is VirtualBox. Nothing of that matters unless there is one thing you should enable in your motherboard, is that you can have these virtual machines in there. So that's needed as support, but all the rest, well, that's for later if you really install Linux on a hardware. So we get this prompt, pre-installation, set keyboard layout. Yep, that's what I need. Many people probably gonna need this. So I'm gonna look for my keys since I'm on QWERTY and all my keys are in AZERTY. That should do it. I always check between screen 1 and screen 2 because typos are not allowed. Okay, AZERTY it is, fine. Scrolling down, verify the boot mode, blah blah blah, connect to the internet. We are on the internet because this is VirtualBox. We're not gonna ping anything. Update the system clock, yep. Time, date, CTL, set, NTP is true, please. Then scrolling, partition the disk. This is probably the hardest part and also the one that has the most discussions. What is the right size, etc., etc., and how do you do this and that? So GPT is UEFI. We have not chosen to do that. We've chosen to go for the BIOS thing. So DOS. Okay, that's one thing. Free space. 20 gig. It's not a lot, but it's enough to put Arch Linux on there, right? Now, if you scroll through CF disk, we can wipe things. That's a good tip. So wipe FS and SG disk. Take a look at the article. It's an interesting notion to know that these things can really wipe everything from your hard disk and start with a clean slate. So if issues, type that prior to CF disk here. And then you see what I see, free disk, free space, and choices for DOS and UEFI. Then they say in the video or the text here, so root partition, new menu, select bootable and all that. Free space, Linux swap, yes, why not? Let's make a Linux swap as well. So we have 20, new. Oh, I have to go to this window, new. If you have only 20, then maybe 18 gig is cool for the primary extension, which is a bootable one. And arrow down, free space, new one, size 2 G, primary. And then maybe I should tell them what it really is. So type, you're gonna be Linux swap. That's it, right? So you have a big chunk, 18 gigabyte for the root. It's gonna be an ext4 thing, 18 gigs. It's gonna be bootable, the asterisk is there. And we have swap, the small amount, 2 gigabyte. So it's okay, it's enough. You can't sleep with it. I mean, you can't hibernate with it. But it's if you run out of memory, then you have 2 gigs more, right? That's the idea. And then we need to save, right? Right is the good thing, but he only accepts yes and no. so I need to type a little bit more. All right, and then we do quit, and then ls block just to have a check. SDA, that's our hard disk. SDA1, that's our partition, and SDA2, that's our swap. Done. Scrolling. Writing, format the partitions. We have rudimentary raw slices in our pie, so to speak. And now we're gonna draw some lines, formatting, right? So I'm gonna say what kind of formatting the system has. Now I was just thinking that I always use in my videos X4, right? I was just thinking there are more things to do. There are BTRFS, and I see my users or our ArcoLinux users changing their formatting and say, I'm gonna try this, gonna try that. Again, a lot of discussion, what's good, what's not good. I'm gonna stick to X4 anyway on this video. Okay, then that's the application. It's not an extension or something, it's the application. And then you say, all right, then you go and have fun with this guy, right? Partition, change that particular piece of the pie and format that thing. That's done. Now the swap is a strange thing. It doesn't need formatting. Well, there is probably some formatting, but it's not an official formatting. So make me the swap SDA2, and that's set up. And then we're going to swap on device SDA2. That's it. Scroll on. Mount it. So mounting is I always found it magical that you could actually mount a hard disk somewhere in South Africa, and I'm living in Belgium, you know, and you get access to a drive somewhere on the other side of the world. So that's basically what mount is. You just say this piece of system that you have, this piece of hardware that you have, mounted in a folder that you have. Now you have access to that folder, to that partition in that folder. Okay. Mounting is done, swap is on, installation, scrolling. The mirror list. Better check it out. Last time I made the video, my mirrors were somewhere in, I don't know, China or something like that, like way, very far away. And Germany is for me okay, right? Belgium, Germany, but Canada would be very slow for me. So Canada is not an ideal server. So you put a hashtag in front of it, and that's how you choose your fastest server in your neighborhood. And sometimes it means you have to really delete stuff, or you can do it like that as well. So you say delete. I want all these guys gone, and so on. Or you put hashtags in front of it. It's all the same. In my case, it's gonna get from Germany. I'm gonna take a guess that this is good. I'm gonna say yes. We'll see shortly if that mirror list, that particular server being in Germany, which is 500 kilometers or so away, give or take, will be fast. I don't know. Install the base and the base development stuff. We'll know now if it's fast or not. Backstrap. Inside that folder, install me base. I'm gonna need base development later, so I'm gonna install it as well. Maybe Linux kernel, what do you think? Maybe some Linux firmware, what do you know? And nano to edit stuff. Bam. Fast enough? Not really. Let's wait. If it's around 10, I'm happy. Whoa, look at that, 61 there. No, I'm happy, I'm keeping it, all right. Otherwise, you go back to the mirror list and say, okay, not fast enough for me. This is taking too long, no fun at all. Then you go back. In the meantime, I'm scrolling, configure the system, FS tab. Okay, I'm ready for it, if you are. Linux firmware, and almost there. We're gonna generate a FS tab file. Some hooks. Doesn't matter the possible missing firmware thing. You can install these things with packages from AUR, but to be frank, in my case anyway, no difference at all if I install it or not. Mount, so you be the judge on your hardware if it helps you or not. So, did I do something? I don't know. Let's have a look. This is a very important file, so I do take my time to type it in and see is something in there, because if it's not telling Linux, hey, look, that particular device or partition there, SDA1, has this UUID there, then with a mention that it's going to go to the root and the other one is swap, well, nothing will happen, of course. You won't boot at all. So Control X, that's cool. And chroot. Now it's the fun thing. I've made a video the other day, again, to put in the light that any Arch Linux and any ArcoLinux and any Arch Linux based system out there is always fixable with this little command, arch chroot. Sometimes people say chroot into, right? So it means this. We're now going inside the actual hard disk of the future. This is the system, right? This is our system. This is Linux, your future Linux. So you can always chroot in a broken system and fix things. And it's all explained on arcolinuxd.com. On the right, you have a widget, and you'll see there a hard disk with a band-aid on it. That's the article, right? You can always fix it, always. And that's the fun. I provide the knowledge, you type the commands. Arch root mount, done that. Time zone. Let's put our time zone in, and we need to do it with force. So put in an F there, otherwise it will not be overwritten. Zone info Europe, and then Brussels, etc local time. You check out whatever, wherever you live. It's very simple, just use the tab and then you see everything, right? And then at some point in time, you know, okay, in my case it's this and that, and then you know it. Maybe write it down. Local time, correct? No typos. Always checking again. And then the hardware clock thing. SysToHC. Scrolling down. Locale. Right. Nano etc locale gem. It's entirely up to you if you want to have this system in German or Spanish or anything like it. This is the long list of all the languages. I'm gonna take English US, UTF-8. Control X, yes, save. That's not done yet, so we've told them it's gonna be English, but I need to generate everything. So generate it with this one. Generation complete. Shorter alternative. Now we are going to say the language equals en_US. Everything matters, capital letters, -8. Put it inside etc locale.conf. Typos. No. Echo my key map. So I have my Azerty next time. Equals BE. Latin. Ooh, there we go. Latin 1. And put that inside etc vconsole.conf. Echo keymap BE minus Latin etc vconsole.conf. Okay. Scrolling again. Hostname. Shorter alternative. Let's take that one always. So Arch Linux. Go inside etc hostname, please. Done. Nano etc host. That's the most thing, the longest thing you have to type. You have to type everything here. Use a tab. that's not it. Cancel, Control C. 1. And then Arch Linux, so the same name as the host name, local domain, and then Arch Linux. No typos allowed. So Control X, yes please, save, enter. Scrolling. Network configuration. You want to ping, you want to have internet, right? So -S, network manager. All right, lots of things come in. Blues comes in. Take a look at the names. WPA supplicant, so wireless comes in, and so much more. Okay. Next time you probably want that activated, right? So you have internet, so systemctl, enable, and now the possible typos, capital N, network, capital M, manager. If you don't see 3 lines saying create a symlink, you typed something wrong. initramfs not required anymore. So it used to be in there in the past. So yeah, it does change the wiki, right? Arch Linux is an organism. It adapts. Bootloader. Pacman -S. Get me grub. Without grub, I can't put grub it is. Now this is different, right? If you are an UEFI or a BIOS thing, this part is different. So, okay, let's just type it what it says. So grub install what? Target equals i386-pc and put it on my device. Well, link it to my device, SDA. Again, grub install target and device SDA. Let's see if we get errors. No error report. Okay, now we're gonna make the file config -o. We're going to put it in boot, in grub.cfg. So we're up and up -o boot grub. Okay, all right, fine, and all the lines look normal. Always check if the lines are normal, right? So exit, and that is if you watch a lot of videos, then you know what's normal, right? -r. What thing should I unmount? Maybe the thing you mounted. So that's now released or unmounted, whatever it is. Just type umount and you see what this means. That's important for you to know. Man umount or umount -h. These things help you figure it out, or -help. So these things help you to access the local manual. Don't Google everything. It's on your machine. Don't Google the question marks. Remember, reboot. Okay. And then they say boot existing OS. So we have a grub. Yay! That's where things go wrong, where users say, I don't have a grub and all that. That's a problem. So I'm on the next step. So if you want to see, that's the page, right? So at the bottom, you have the next step. I click on it and I'm at 6, the actual installation of Arch Linux Phase 2. Following it just as is described here. So sudo is not required since you are still root. Type in your password. Okay, so this guy is root and the password is this guy. And then we go. So we're now root. Fine. Our AUR helpers, yay and Tryzen, we'll do it later. It's doesn't make sense to do it here. It's still in the dark here, right? But what we do like, yeah, I have again my Azerty thing is not the way it should be. So load keys, BE Latin. I'm thinking might have made a mistake. Well, we'll see later. So that's in a way fixed, and then pacman -s bash completion, and that's done. So we have the bash completion. All right, scrolling. Personal account. I want to have an Eric account, right? Don't stay in root. User at -m -g users -groups audio. I like to have some video. I like to have some network. Wheel to be able to install stuff. Storage. And this is for Bluetooth RF kill. Not sure if still necessary, but can't hurt either. -s bin bash me. Right? So choose your username. And then we're gonna give Eric a password. And that's done. Now we need to make sure that people like Eric can edit things, can install things, right? So do you have the permissions? Otherwise you get this strange sentence, this user does not have the permission and it has been reported, right? Things like that. So this guy, wheel, uncomment to allow members of group wheel, I am one of them, to execute any command. That sounds cool. Control X, save, yes, sure, saved. I'm out. Then as they say, exit. So now I'm gonna be Eric. And then I'm gonna update, for instance, to see if I have internet. Okay. And everything is working. I can update my system. I have the possibility or the authority to do so. I'm going for next step. So I'm already at number 3. So 5, 6, 7. Number 3, phase, let us get graphical. So we're still in this black thing, which is awesome, of course. Maybe we'd like to have some colors. So sudo pacman -s, xorg server and xorg apps and xorg xinit and xterm. Click, depend all. And then you gradually over time read all these names and packages and get to know them, right? If you keep watching updates during the years to come, you gradually learn all these names. Graphics driver is not necessary, so that's the bottleneck maybe for people. There's a great Arch wiki, so go read. You have an NVIDIA, go read. You have an Intel, go read. You have an AMD, go read, right? It's all explained there. But in our case, we don't have to do anything. And then it's up to LightDM. Somebody is going to say hi to you, and that's a display manager or login manager. And in our case, we are so happy with LightDM because it never fails us. I always say that on forums or anywhere really, that it's not LightDM that's crashing, it's the thing behind it that's crashing. So if you are thrown back to LightDM, it doesn't mean that LightDM is not working, it's meaning that the thing behind it is not working, because it rarely is LightDM, right? Just believe me, after using ArcoLinux for 5 years, it's not. Now I have not typed in LightDM JTKey greeter setting, so if I wanted to, I can type here another settings behind it, right? So like this, and now the settings will be installed as well, and all the rest as well, I suppose. No, just those. The thing that's important now is to make sure next time you reboot that LightDM is allowed to take control. And that's this, systemctl. Check out the systemctl tutorials, wikis, videos. That's an important thing because you want to enable something, and it's called LightDM service. If you don't do that and it doesn't say created symlink, nothing will happen. Now I'm gonna cut the video here because the next thing I'm gonna do is this thing, right? So if you scroll down, next thing is install any of these guys, and what I want to do is later install deepin, and it's super simple, but it's super new, right? There's a new version out there. That's all I need to type and have a complete desktop. Isn't that awesome? Or you can go for our scripts and get some more extras, more explanations, more elements, but it's still deeping. So in this case, we're still very much Arch based, not in Arco. So why am I stopping here as well? So if I do sudo shutdown now, SSN is not working. Sudo shut down now, right? Well, I was doubting. Then we are back here. And what I can do now is clone this thing, of course, right? And I can install deepin and then later Mate and then later i3, and I can have fun because I have my basic ArcoLinux set up. And that's easy. And from time to time, you go back into the ArcoLinux May guy, you update things, sudo pacman -s yyuu, you update everything, and then you can clone again. And next time you have a up-to-date ArcoLinux clone. So that's an interesting concept. That's only, of course, in VirtualBox available, but it's great to learn. So, stopping the video and installing May on the May thing here, deepin.